What if the most powerful thing you could do to change your life was already built into your night? What if while you were scrolling your phone about to fall asleep, you were sitting right on the edge of the most open, receptive state your mind ever enters? You have been going to sleep every night, and every night you have had access to a window that can quietly rewrite everything. Today, I'm going to show you how to use it. Most of us move through our days doing the work, the affirmations, the journaling, the visualizing. We're putting in real effort. And then we climb into bed, scroll until we drop off, and our last thoughts are about what's missing, what's stressing us, what hasn't happened yet. And then we wonder why things feel slow. Here's what most people teaching manifesting miss completely. The subconscious mind doesn't learn through effort. It learns through feeling and is most open to new impressions at one specific moment. The moment your body is relaxed, your thinking mind is quiet, and you are just on the edge of your sleep. Neville called this the state akin to sleep. What you impress on your subconscious in that state does not just sit there, it goes to work. It reorganizes your inner world and your outer world follows. Today, you are going to know exactly how to use it. This is not complicated. It is gentle, it is quiet, and is one of the most powerful things you can do for your desired reality. If this is your first time here, welcome. I talk about all things the law of assumption and how to actually use it to change your life. Subscribe if you want to stay close because this is just one piece of a much bigger movement. Your conscious mind is the part of you that thinks, analyzes, and chooses. It is selective. It can say yes or no. However, your subconscious mind is different. It does not analyze, it does not judge, it receives and creates. It takes whatever it's impressed with and faithfully builds that into your outer world. It doesn't care if the thing is good for you or not. It just says yes. As you believe, so it is. The challenge is getting new information past the conscious mind and into the subconscious. Because your thinking mind can be a gatekeeper. It argues, it says, but that's not true yet, but I don't see the evidence of it, but it hasn't happened. And that arguing blocks the impression from going deep enough to create change. Sleep changes everything. As you drift towards sleep, your conscious mind relaxes. It stops filtering, the gate opens. Whatever you are feeling and assuming in that drowsy, soft state goes directly into the subconscious without resistance. It lands, it takes root. This is why sleep is the most important time of day for manifesting. Not because anything magic happens in your dreams, because the doorway to your subconscious is the most open it will ever be. And what you plant there in those final minutes before you drift off is what grows. The state akin to sleep, which is commonly called SATS, is the drowsy, relaxed state between waking and sleeping. Your body is still, your thinking mind is gentle, your awareness is soft. You're not asleep yet, but you're no longer fully in ordinary waking consciousness either. In this state, you hold one simple imaginal scene, not a movie, not a whole story, one scene. A short, specific moment that implies your wish is already fulfilled. You don't want to watch yourself receiving something. You want to feel the feeling that exists after you already have it, the naturalness of it, the settledness. That scene doesn't have to be elaborate. It has to be felt. The feeling is what impresses the subconscious. The scene is just the vehicle. You don't have to hold the scene the whole night. If you manage to feel it as real for even a few minutes before you fall asleep, it goes to work. You've done your part, then you release it and sleep. Here's the practice as simply as I can give it to you so you can use it tonight. The first thing you do is choose your scene before you get into bed. This is important. When you are tired and trying to settle in, you don't want to be scrambling for a scene. Choose it in advance. Make it short, make it specific, and make it imply fulfillment, not process. For example, a scene that implies fulfillment is your friend saying congratulations. A scene that doesn't is watching yourself working toward the thing. Stay at the end, always the end. Once you're in bed, get genuinely comfortable. Physical relaxation is the foundation. Your body needs to be at rest before your mind can enter the state. So take a moment, soften your jaw, let your shoulders drop, breathe. Then, once you feel that softness beginning, gently bring in the scene. Not from the outside looking at yourself in, from the inside. You are in it. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel in your body? Not the excitement of wanting it, but the quiet, natural feeling of already having it. The normalcy of it being yours. Hold it gently. If your mind wanders, just bring it back without frustration. And then let yourself drift off to sleep, still inside that feeling. This is it. This is the practice. Now, I want to address something because I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, what if I fall asleep too fast? What if I can't feel it deeply enough? What if my mind is too loud? Luckily for you, the subconscious is most accessible in that borderline state. So even if you drift off very quickly, the impression you set before you got into bed is already working. You don't have to stay in this state for a long time. Frequency is what matters more than duration. Do this every night and let it become your normal. There's one more layer of this practice that I want to give you, and it's one of the most quietly powerful things I know. Before you begin your sad scene, I suggest a practice called revision. You replay the events of your day in imagination, and where anything didn't go the way you wished, you rewrite it. You edit the scene in your mind so that it went the way you wanted. You see the conversation going well. You see yourself receiving the good news. You replay it and you feel it as if that is actually what happened. Then you release it and move into your forward-looking scene. What this does is extraordinary. The unrevised past keeps creating your present. The worries, the difficult conversations, the moments that stung, all of it is constantly being impressed on your subconscious and reinforcing the state you don't want. Revision cancels that out before you sleep. You are not lying to yourself. You are editing the record your subconscious is working from, and the subconscious doesn't know the difference between what physically happened and what you vividly imagined. It works from feeling. Give it a better feeling and it builds you a better world. Revise, then hold your scene, then sleep. You can start tonight. Remember, you don't have to hustle your way into your desired reality. You don't have to force or push or wait and hope. Every single night, there's a quiet window that opens just before you fall asleep, where your subconscious is listening more openly than at any other moment in your day. And in that window, you get to decide what it hears. The woman who already has your desired life, she exists in that state, and that state is available to you right now, in the dark, in the quiet, before you drift off. All you have to do is feel it as real, and let sleep carry it home. If you are ready to do this work inside a community of women who are also choosing their reality on purpose, I want you to come join us on Discord. It's a supportive space where women share, grow, and show up for each other. And I share exclusive opportunities there first. The link is in the description, and I would love to have you inside. And if you want to go deeper into one of the core practices that works beautifully alongside sleep work, the next video is right there on your screen, picked just for you. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.